Hey, horror fans, once again, it's the Horror Rise of Money G, and today we're going to talk about last week's episode of American Horror Story Cult. Now, one thing I love about American Horror Story is that they always do these nice flashbacks. They'll go back maybe 2 years, maybe a century, 10 years, and that's what happened in this episode. We actually start off with the night of the election. And we see several people who don't know each other yet standing in line to make their votes. We see Ali and Evie. We're standing in line. We know what's going to happen between those two. We see Winter and her colleagues. They're screaming, "This pussy fights back! This pussy fights back!" which I thought was very clever. We also see the Wiltons, and Madison's kind of pissed off. She says, "Who am I? I'm not smart enough to vote for the next person for the lead the United States." And she does very something silly. She actually doesn't vote for Trump or Hillary. She actually writes in Oprah. And then we see Kai, the mastermind. We know that he's up to something. And he brings in this guy who seems to be bleeding all over the place. And he goes on there. He writes in Trump and he shouts out, "Get ready for Trump America." And then we go on ahead for the opening. And we know that this is going to be a pretty exciting episode of American Horror Story Cult. So when the next scene comes up, we see Beverly Hope, played wonderfully by Dina Porter, who was in last year's very successful, which I thought she had a very successful role, and she does a really good job. I think she's the best actress to come on this show since Jessica Lange. She plays Beverly Hope, and she's talking about the election she's going to, and then all of a sudden she gets replaced by Emma Roberts. We seen in several of these American Horror Stories, but she plays this little cute Serena Belinda. What a name. And she's doing some type of fluff piece right there, and we also see Dr. Vincent is there as well. Then we know that we see. Give me a second here. Get my excuse me. Next, we actually see Harrison. He's working at this store, and we also find out that they're about to foreclose on the house he and Madison share. And right now, he's just working at a Buffs, I guess, some type of spa or fitness center. And unfortunately, Madison can't work because unfortunately she has cancer, and she only gets disability. And we see Kai and Madison. We see Kai and Harrison. They're busy working out, and he gets bullied by his homophobic boss. And it isn't long before Harrison starts to take on Kai's what do you want to call it? His spewing his self-help message that he's spewing, and eventually he kills his boss. So of course he kills his boss, and next thing you know, here comes Madison. She comes in, and we find out that he's cutting up his boss's head, and she said, "Who's that?" "That's my boss." And then she says, "Who's he?" "Someone to believe in." And obviously we see how Kai gets in Madison and Harrison. Let's see how they pull them in. And he's pretty good at pulling in people. The next people that we see he pulls in is Beverly Hope. And Beverly Hope is a very interesting character because as we see later on, that she was a very good reporter, and unfortunately she was reporting news, saying every time some people come up and say Trump's famous word, "Grab her by the pussy, grab her by the pussy." Until one point she finally had enough, and she beat the shit out of this guy for saying that to her. And unfortunately, she had to take a leave of absence. Unfortunately, at the time, Emma Roberts' character, Belinda, takes over her spot. But they can't fire her because she's the only black reporter in the company. So they can't fire her because they're afraid she'll sue. When Kai sees her reporting on a mutilated body that they found in the landfill, he notices something about her, and then he confronts her about it. And it isn't before long that she knows when she's stabbing out her boss's tires, and he realizes that she has something in her that he wants her to do. And then later on, we see that he makes it available when we see our favorite clowns again as they stab the shit out of Belinda and her cameraman. And eventually Beverly is back where she belongs, and then she starts reporting the pieces now in Kai's behalf. Obviously, Kai is setting up everything, Kai is setting up everything for whatever purposes we don't know yet. But obviously, Kai is setting up everything to whatever he wants to do to get his cult in control. And we also get another surprise too. Later on, the time switches until the day before the election, and we see that Ivy and Winter actually know each other. The guy that normally is going to get his cut off, we see him. They're arguing back and forth, and next thing you know, here comes Winter. He unfortunately grabbed her, whatever, I don't know what he grabbed, he really didn't show up, but for some reason he grabbed something of Ivy's. And Winter comes along, and next thing you know, the two bond. And this is the first time we didn't know it, but the two know each other, which is pretty good, pretty amazing. I like the fact that they showed this scene because now we know that Ivy and Winter know each other. We don't know the reason if uh, Ivy was pissed off when she slapped Allie's face when she saw them together in that video. But obviously something's afoot and we don't know what's going on. But now we know that Ivy and Winter know each other. They eventually plan to kidnap the guy and make him sit in the dark alley dungeon so he can't vote for Trump. And they tie him up and tell him, we'll let you escape after the election so Hillary can win. But we all know how that went. So it isn't before long before Winter heads back home and she admits to Kai what they did. Kai goes back along with a hacksaw and tells the guy, hey, look, if you really want to vote for Trump, you're going to have to prove to me that you're willing to do what it takes in order to vote for Trump. And so the guy saws his hand off, and as we see when the show ends, we see him cutting him off and Kai smiling. So obviously Kai has some type of a master plan that he has, and we really don't know what it is, but obviously he's building something, and he's using his very persuasive ways in order to get these people to believe in him. He did it with the Wiltons. He did it with Beverly Hope. We don't know what's going on with Allie, but obviously Allie has some part of his plan, and Ivy is going to be part of his plan too. And let's not forget about Dr. Vincent. Dr. Vincent has something to do with this as well. So I really enjoyed this episode. I always like these flashbacks because it always reveals something that we didn't know. We always comes up with some type of twist that we don't know or didn't see or didn't see anything coming. I didn't see this relationship that Allie Winter had. And that's why I always liked about American Horror Story. Even some of the shows that some people don't like, either with Freak Show or Coven, think those shows were not really good. But I really do enjoy the flashbacks. The flashbacks always reveal something about the person's or some event that takes place prior to the events that are happening right now, and it explains things much better for the characters. And again, we all know that Kai is up to something, and he's building his cult, what type of cult it is, or what purpose it is, and why is he so happy that Trump won. We really don't know, but I'm pretty sure the show will let us know. So, what do you think about this episode of American Horror Story? Did you like it? You didn't like it? You really like where it's heading? Do you like these flashbacks? Comment below. Let me know. We'll talk about it. Again, like I said, really enjoyed this episode. Once again, really enjoying the season as well. I think this is one of the better seasons of American Horror Story as well. Well, that's my video for today. Please, if you like it, this is your first time here, please like and subscribe and comment below. And always share my videos as well. And once again, if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. That way you become part of the horror experience as well. Once again, all my social media links will be in the description below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember that horror rules.